Guys, welcome back to Your Questions Answered. This is episode number 2, and I'm going to keep going with these every week because you guys keep sending in questions, which are really useful. And all I'm going to do is just go through questions that I get asked from you guys on a weekly basis, or questions that I get asked regularly that kind of just would be useful to expand on and give an answer in a little bit of a wider form. So with all these questions, they're questions that aren't unique necessarily. I get asked quite similar questions often, but quite often I answer them in a short form, maybe in a message or on Instagram, and sometimes it's better to go into a little bit more detail and just give a little bit more meaning behind some of these answers and give you guys a little bit more clarity and a little bit more detail behind some of these topics. So these are the topics, I'll stick them up here, these are the topics we're going to cover today. So feel free to just kind of skip through this video if there's a specific question you want the answer to, or feel free to sit back, relax, make yourself a coffee and listen to all of this as I go through all of these answers. So we've got 5 topics to go through today, various kind of subjects, and we're just going to go through one by one, and we're just going to give detailed answers to all of these questions. So remember, if you want any of your questions answered, you can just send me a message either on email or Instagram or on the Team Macro Golf platform. Just get your question in. Sometimes these are questions that I've just been asked throughout the week that I save and then would answer in a longer form here, or sometimes it's people that are specifically sending in questions for these videos. So thank you again for watching. If you've seen episode 1, then thank you for watching that and coming on for second round. And if you haven't seen episode 1, go back and give that a watch and let me know your thoughts on that. So 5 topics today. I'm going to jump straight in with the first one, which is something that I've been answering quite regularly recently actually. So this one got asked specifically, but it's a topic I've been talking a lot about. And the question is, can being more mobile improve my golf swing? So can being more mobile improve my golf swing? It's something I've been asked a lot recently, and it's something I've been I'm trying to give the same answer to every time. So I would like to say, can being more mobile improve my golf swing? Yes, it can, if you have a restriction there that is causing you to have a restriction or alter your golf swing for that reason, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get my words out, and I'm going to be really careful with my words here because this can be taken one or two ways. So let me start from the beginning. Can being more mobile improve my golf swing? First thing to note is golf is a technical sport. So golf is a technical sport, which means it involves a lot of technical ability and technical prowess to perform a golf swing, and to perform an efficient golf swing involves a lot of technique and a lot of skill. Okay. However, if you have restrictions in your body that means you can't perform certain movements, then it's going to be very difficult for you then to produce a consistent or efficient golf swing. Okay, so let's go back to the question of, can being more mobile improve my golf swing? Yes, being more mobile can improve your golf swing if you already have a restriction there that is causing you to do something different in your golf swing. So say for example, if you have a restriction in the amount that you can turn your shoulders, and that's causing you to have an issue then in your golf swing, then improving that physical restriction may help your golf swing. But it still is a technical element. You'd still, even if you have all the room in the world on your shoulders, there's still a technical element to be able to perform that movement. So can being mobile improve your golf swing? Yes, but it's only one piece of the puzzle, because ultimately golf is a technical sport. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm being very careful with my words here. I'm also trying to be very deliberate with my words, because there's a lot of skepticism to say that just by improving one thing it's going to have a massive effect on those other things, and I do kind of believe that to some degree. I've seen it happen in golfers who've just improved mobility, changed nothing else, suddenly they're swinging the golf club better. But ultimately there is a technical element to this, and there needs to be some kind of change that occurs in the technique for the mobility to even be seen in the golf swing. Okay. On the second half of this, if you don't have any physical restrictions and your mobility is fine, adding more mobility won't really help you. It's not going to help you improve that swing in any way. So if you don't have any mobility restrictions, it's not going to help your golf swing, right? If you do have some, improving that is going to give you the chance of having a better golf swing. That's kind of where I sit on that. And hopefully for whoever answered that question, all these questions are anonymous, whoever asked that question, hopefully that answers the point you were trying to get at. So if you have a restriction, yes, it can help. If you don't have a restriction, having more is not going to help you. Hopefully that answers. Cool. If you've got any more questions on mobility and golf, send them in. It's a hot topic. Okay, number 2. This is a great question. What would a good week look like if I want to improve my golf fitness levels? What would a good week look like if I want to improve my golf fitness levels? I hate to do this on every question, but it really does depend. So if you are a PGA Tour player, your week will look very, very different to Dave, who's got a full-time job, family, and other commitments, right? It's going to look very different, and that is totally fine. The worst thing you can do is be busy with a full-time job and a family and try and have the week of a PGA Tour player, right? You're going to be miserable, probably going to be divorced, and you're probably going to lose your job. So it's probably not the best place to start. If you are serious about making a change to your golf, then your golf should be the biggest time consumer in your week, right? Generally, the more serious you are about your golf, the more golf will take over your week, okay? However, if you're a human and you want to live a long life and you want to be healthy, then health and fitness should form a big part of your life no matter what you do. So whether you're a PGA Tour player or Dave with his full-time job, you should still be doing some kind of exercise, movement, servicing your body, right? That should always be happening. So when we're looking at a good week to improve your golf fitness, and we're only looking at golf fitness, I would say that no matter what level you're at, you should be doing some kind of resistance training or strength training within your week. Okay, so whether you have a full-time job and loads of family commitments, or whether you're playing on tour, you should have some kind of strength training within your week. Okay, that's kind of black and white for me. I also think another one, again, no matter if you're a PGA Tour player or Dave with a full-time job, you should be doing some kind of servicing in your body, ideally every day. So 5-10 minutes every day, going through some movements, maybe some soft tissue work, maybe some mobilization to service your body. So either whether you've been sat down at a desk all day or been hitting golf balls all day, you should be doing some kind of servicing of your body, okay? So we have no context for this question. We don't know where on that spectrum this person is, but it doesn't matter where they are because all of those two things should be the same across the board, right? So doing some kind of strength training and some kind of servicing of their body, okay? In terms of how that would look in a typical week, would then depend on how much time you've got. So I would say that every day you should be doing some kind of mobilization. Then depending on timing, you might have between 2 to 4 strength sessions throughout the week. And the rest of the time should be golf practice, in my opinion. The idea of all of these things is to tick 2 boxes. One, to make you fit, healthy, strong, hard to kill on the human side. And the second thing is allow you to practice and perform at your best in golf. And we need to make sure we're hitting both of those boxes. So I would say 2 to 4 times strength training would be great. Daily servicing of your body with mobility work would be great. And then fill the rest of your week with as much time as you have left for golf practice and golf play. That is going to be the way that you're going to improve your golf fitness and your golf performance in the fastest way possible. Hopefully that answers your question. And if you are, and I know you're not, but if you were called Dave and you're watching this and you've got a full-time job and family, that wasn't meant directly for you, but if the shoe fits, listen to the words, it's going to help you. All right, so next question, I'm whizzing through these, which is good, being productive today. We have, how can I protect my back in golf? So how can I protect my back in golf? Good question. And I get asked a lot about back pain. It's probably one of my highest asked topics, either across Instagram or Tim Macro Golf. So I'm going to answer this in a really generic way, not only a generic way in terms of the question, but a generic way in terms of protecting areas in general. So if we want to protect a certain area, so say we want to protect our back, I don't like this word because when we say protect something, it means we're apprehensive of it and it's being sensitized. So I don't like it, but if we want to look after or avoid injury in or make more robust or resilient a certain area, we need to first of all make sure that area is very strong. So for the lower back, we're thinking kind of midsection core area, making sure that area is very, very strong, okay? What's going to allow us to get that area stronger, again, is making sure that we have good mobility above that area and below that area. So for the lower back, it's going to be into the thoracic spine, good mobility, and in the hips, good mobility. So if we're very strong in this core area, trunk area, very mobile above it and very mobile above it and very mobile below it, we're going to have pretty good protection of our back in golf. Okay, if that's a specific question. So to answer this question directly before I go off tangent, to give yourself the best chance of protecting your back, first of all, make sure that the lumbar spine or core area is very, very strong, very, very stable and very well activated. Then also make sure that the area above it, the thoracic spine, is very mobile and the area below it is very mobile. So the hips mobile, thoracic spine mobile, and then the middle area between those two, which is the area you're trying to protect, very strong, stable and robust. And that's going to be the best opportunity of trying to protect your back. That principle also applies in other areas of the body. So if we're trying to improve, let's say we're trying to protect our elbow because we've had elbow issues in the past, then we need to make sure that our shoulder and our wrist are very mobile. Okay, so we need to make sure those areas are mobile. We need to then make sure that our forearms, our biceps and our triceps are very strong. Okay, and that's going to protect this elbow in the most way. So we're always looking at one area above, one area below, and then strengthening all around it. So for example, for the knee, we need to make sure that ankle is nice and mobile, the hip being nice and mobile, but then we need to make sure all of our leg muscles are very strong. Okay, so we're always thinking about strengthening and then mobile above and below. So it's a great question because it applies all the way through the body. So if you're suffering with any other area, maybe a bad knee, a bad elbow, whatever it is, then you can apply this principle: strength, mobile, mobile. Hopefully to answer the question. And it was a very good question and a very hot topic. So thank you for that. The next question is my favorite question, and for me it's very, very topical. So at the moment we are on week 3 of the Golf Fitness School, and this Golf Fitness School is a weight loss focused Golf Fitness School. So there's 16 golfers all involved in this current Golf Fitness School, and they've all got the goal of losing a little bit of weight, building some better habits, and ultimately improving their golf through that as well. So very topical. And I've also just finished a online course which is a Becoming a Macro Golfer, which is a weight loss version as well. So great timing for this question, which is being overweight limiting my golf? So is being overweight limiting my golf? It's a great question. So this is something that's bothered me for a while now because I've been really trying to think of a good answer for this question. I feel like I've come to an answer. Whether it's the correct answer or not, we'll find out. I've come to an answer. So I would say that if you are overweight and you're playing golf, having excess body fat will not necessarily cause a detriment to your golf. However, all of the lifestyle choices that have preceded, that have caused you to gain excess body fat, probably are affecting your golf. For example, lack of movement, lack of exercise, poor nutrition, and just in general not moving a lot, which has caused you to have excess body fat and become overweight, will be the effect that's having on the golf. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's not the fact that we have excess body fat that is causing a detriment to the golf or our golf swing. It's the fact that we've had no movement, no exercise and poor nutrition, which has caused excess body fat, but also had a detriment to our golf. So how do we fix it? Well, all we need to do is fix all the things that have caused us to have excess body fat. So we need to improve our nutrition, we need to improve our daily movement, we need to improve our exercise levels, we need to improve our mobility. Suddenly we lose excess body fat, but we also improve our golf. And this is the biggest, this is basically what we're doing in the Golf Fitness School. We're improving all of these areas. We're improving nutrition, we're improving movement, we're improving our training, we're improving our mobility, and all of the guys are seeing weight loss, but they're also seeing improvements in their golf swing as well from that element. So is being overweight limiting your golf? Directly being overweight, I don't think will be limiting your golf, but it's what you've done to become overweight, which is then having an effect on your golf. Hopefully that answers the question, because that's taken me a long time to think of a good answer for that. And I think that is the right answer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, last question, which leads us on perfectly because we're talking about snacking. So always good to lead an overweight question with a snacking question. The question is, what are good snacks for during a round of golf? What are good snacks for during a round of golf? Now, this is a great question. And I would say that I've spoken a lot. I've spoken before actually about a 3-hole rule, and I say that you should have something to eat or drink every 3 holes. To make this simpler, I'll divide that into 6 holes, so 3 sections, so 3/3. So I'd say the snacks will change in terms of being optimal, depending on the time of the round that you're in. So the start of the round, something that has a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs, and a little bit of fats is going to be great. The second third, if you want to call it into third, second third will be similar, so something with a little bit of protein, carbs, and fats. The final third is when you can start to then look at your little bit more sugary snacks, maybe a chocolate bar, maybe electrolyte drink, whatever it is, in the final third. So we're kind of splitting it into 3 different segments, and the snacks would look differently throughout the round. What I'd say is also important here is the hydration as much as the nutrition. So how much water are we taking on? Are we taking on any electrolyte drinks? What does that look like in our round as well? And it's as important. So what good snacks would be? Maybe a sandwich, maybe something that kind of gives you a good mix. Maybe it's a protein bar or a protein shake with some fruit or something earlier on in the round for the first and second third. And then the third section, the final part of the round, something a little bit more sugary, maybe a chocolate bar or a sugary drink, whatever it is, to give you that final push for the final few holes. Okay. For me, I always have a Snickers. Snickers is one of the best golf snacks, I always say. But I would typically carry a protein shake, banana as well, and just a few other snacks in the bag for earlier on in the round. Okay, but I think hydration is something that gets limited the most. What I also say to people, and I say this to my players as well, is I would say don't overcomplicate it. Just have things that you like that you're actually going to eat, because I think one of the things you can do, which is even worse than having the wrong thing, is not having anything. That's going to really get you in trouble. So make sure you have some things in your bag that you enjoy eating, because then you're actually more likely to reach for them and actually eat them, rather than just leaving them in the bag and forgetting about them. Right? We've all had that mouldy banana in our golf bag a couple of weeks later, which is not fun. So what snacks are good during a round of golf? Number 1, snacks that you like. And number 2, follow that process of protein, carbs, fats, and then sugary towards the end. Cool. That is it. That is all 5 questions. I went through those quite quickly today. But hopefully it gave you a little bit more insight into some of these topics, and a little bit, just give me the opportunity to go into a little bit more detail. So I'll keep doing videos like this. This is the second one now. I'll do a third one next week. I'll do a 4th one the following week. And I'll just keep answering these questions for you guys as they come in. So if you do have a question, send it in. I'm always keen to have new questions. If you think it's something I've never answered before, even better. If you think it's something that I didn't answer properly, even better again. And I'll keep trying to give you guys some good value and some good clarity on all of these topics. So anything golf fitness related, anything golf performance related, anything mobility related, anything health and well-being, anything habit based, anything mindset, send it in. Let's see if we can get some good answers together. Hopefully start helping some people on a weekly basis. So thank you again for watching this video. If this is if you watched the first one and then come back to this one, then thank you for sticking with me on this. If it's the first one you saw, go back and see the first one, see if there's some different questions there that you're going to get some extra insight on. But until then, guys, I'll see you next week, and I'll get more of your questions answered.